So this is my first time at Press Streets. I am here to get a silk press because that is how I want to start wearing my hair regularly. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm excited, it's so pretty in here. Hey Nesties, it's Anya, your empty nesty bestie. Thank you for coming back. And for those of you who it's your first time, welcome to Anya Zinden. I am Anya, a zennial empty nester who is creating life on her own terms. So this is the first video after the Empty Nest Starter Kit series. So if you are new here and you have not seen the Empty Nester Starter Kit series, make your way back over there and catch up, okay? So I say catch up because in the third episode of the Empty Nester Starter Kit, I talk about starting a new life. And so those of you, and we talked about what that, what some of the things that would signify, right? A major change, you being in a major transition and in the midst of creating life on your own terms, right? Or that's my goal anyway. So those of you who have been here, you notice the change. Also, we're in the midst of the Summer Nesty Challenge, but I'll talk about the Summer Nesty Challenge a little bit later in today's video. I like to catch you up, so let me catch you up with the things that have been going on in my life here recently. So one thing that you probably already noticed is that I have started the decorating process on the Zinden, and I'm so excited. It's like, okay, so I get so excited. So I think I've talked about the fact that I had started planning, or I thought I was going to move in. I had a whole plan for moving in and then decorating this whole house in a time frame. Life's. And so I just haven't had a chance to get that started. But I started a job where I work from home 100% of the time, or mostly, right? I'm usually at home. There's 20% of the time where I get to travel. But anyway, so since I'm working from home, I turned this room into, well, it's always was going to be my office / YouTube studio. YouTube studio, podcast studio, whatever project I'm working on, right? Whatever I'm doing that's whatever, creating happens in this room. So I've started putting up some of my art and I've made some videos. So those are some upcoming videos that you'll be seeing. Me just kind of going through the process. So I'm excited to get started with the decorating. This room, I decided for now, not to paint it. It will be painted at some point, but I just wanted to start getting art on the walls. So now there is art on the walls, and yeah, it feels really cozy. It feels really good. It feels zen in the Zen den. Anyway, last week I was on vacation for 4th of July holiday, but my job had a week off of vacation. So I really just took the time during the week to chill all the way out. For the most part, I chilled all the way out. Like, I stayed home, and really just kind of focused on like meditation, a little bit of reading, just a lot of like me time, self-care, staying in the house. So you might tell I'm definitely in my Zen zone. But tomorrow's Monday, so I start back. You know, I have decided that I will not dread Mondays, because why did we all give in collectively to like hating Mondays? I don't want to think about it like that. But meaning tomorrow's Monday, I start work again. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Well, I say that because there's a hurricane coming. Like, there's a hurricane coming. It seems like there's always a hurricane coming to Houston, but alas, there's a hurricane coming to Houston, Hurricane Beryl. You know, I really hadn't been paying attention to the news much. I told you, I've been in the Zen zone. I like that. I've been in the Zen zone. And so I did like hear things perking up at the end of last week about the hurricane in the Caribbean. And I really just thought it was going to stay out there. So I stopped paying attention. I was like, oh man, it tore Jamaica up. That's, you know, horrible. And so now here it is, the hurricane's coming to us. The weather today has already been, you know, like a lot of rain. So, I don't know, we'll see. I have some supplies, you know, I have candles, I have flashlights, I have the things they tell us to have. I have water to last me a few days in case I lose water or electricity. I have yet to invest in a generator, but that is something I'm going to do. That is something that I am going to do, because being without power is like, anyway, y'all don't want to hear about that stuff. So the hurricane's coming. So we'll see if I even have power to start work tomorrow, but all hopes that this, you know, hopefully it's a light blowover. We'll see. What else? I think that's the catch-up. Yeah. So let's get into this hair, honey. Let's get into this hair. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Okay, Nesties. So let's get a little intimate. Not all that intimate, but I want to tell you about my hair story. And you know, we're Black girls. You might be a Black man who's here, and maybe you get it, right? If you lived with Black women growing up, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. You know the stories, you've heard it all. So I want to share with you my Black girl hair story. And if you're not Black, just listen. Just listen. So anyhow, this is my Black girl hair story. So for as long as I can remember, from being a little girl, I always remember being told like how thick my hair was, how much hair I had. My mom, of course, you know, used to do my hair first. I did, like, when you look back at the pictures, I had a lot of hair. And I just remember it was a lot to do, but I really enjoyed, you know, I had my barrette can. I had a barrette can. It was like an aluminum can, like a coffee can. No, it wasn't a coffee can. It was actually the oh, what are the saltine crackers? I want to say Pringles so bad, but it's not Pringles. Those are chips. Anyway, the saltine, the saltine crackers that come in the white box. Well, way back in the day, they used to come in like an aluminum tin can, and then your four stacks would be inside the can. And so that one of those cans became my barrette can. And so, I just enjoyed getting my hair done by my mom. Barrette can sitting there, like smelling all the hair products. And then when I got older, a little bit older, I say a little bit older, I'm talking like 6, maybe, or 7. I don't remember getting my first relaxer, but I know I was really young when I started getting relaxers. And a lot of it was because my mom was just like, my hair was a lot more manageable when it was relaxed. And so I wore relaxers all the way through, and I mean like getting them done religiously, like every 6 to 8 weeks on schedule, whether it was my mom doing it or if she was taking me to a salon to get my hair done. It was what it was, like that was the schedule. And so I just always, the Black girl hair salon experience. We always went to like really nice hair salon. It was in Germany. I think it was my 6th grade year, maybe it was my 7th grade year, when my mom allowed me to have a little more control over my hairstyles. And it was like, I think it had to be 7th grade, because I remember like Holly Berry was everywhere. This was around Boomerang time, and Strictly Business, I think, was the other movie that was like really big at the time. And she was in both of those. And I told my mom I wanted to cut my hair like hers. And she was like, no, ma'am, but you can get your hair cut. And so my first haircut was a cute little bob. I wanted to go shorter, and she would not let me go much shorter because she didn't want my dad to be upset. And so that was the first time when I first started to take control of my own hair. And the high school that we went to had a cosmetology class. And so I took the cosmetology class, and there was where I really learned how to do hair. I learned how to do relaxers during that time. I learned, all the things like the roller sets, the relaxers, how to properly blow dry, all the things that you're going to learn in a cosmetology class. But that's when I really started, I learned how to do relaxers. So I would do relaxers if those in-betweens, if my mom didn't have it at the time, or, whatever. I could do my own relaxer. And I just started experimenting with my hair, and would let it grow back out and cut it off again. But I always wanted to see my natural hair. And I would try to, wash it and leave it wet. It would drive my mother crazy. Oh, it would drive her crazy that I was always doing just crazy stuff with my hair. And so anyway, but she, she would let me have it, but she would let me know that it did not look right. She was not happy with it, but she did let me do me with my hair. So that was 7th grade when I took almost full control, because she would still schedule, hair appointments for us and stuff. So I would still go to my hairdresser. Oh, and then I remember there was a time that I was like, cause it was the 90s. It was the 90s and everything was like bone straight. Like you wanted everything bone straight. And so in between relaxers, it was like always this part of my head. And it would always like puff up when I got closer to the 6 weeks, the 6 to 7 weeks, and then like even blow drying it and curling it with the curling iron wasn't enough. We had a hot comb, like the electric kind of hot comb. And so I started hot combing it, and then that was the first time I broke my hair off, and my hairdresser was like, "No, ma'am, you're done." And she took back over my hair until we got it right. So anyway, part of my hair story. So fast forward to I moved to Houston when we separated from each other, like in the move. So he moved here. But we separated, he moved back to New York, and that hair got chopped off. That's all I can say. My hair was pretty long. It was pretty long. It was like just past my shoulders. I used to go to the Dominican hair salons in New York. Well, it was like I was going to Dominican hair salons for a little while, and then I found this Black man. He was the first Black male hairdresser that I'd ever had. But I loved him. Oh, he took care of my hair. He grew my hair. It was, my hair was like luscious when he was taking care of my hair. He was in Brooklyn. And so anyway, but I did also go to the Dominican hair salons because I enjoyed having the blowouts and not having to, get the relaxer so often. So during the time that I was going to the Dominican salons, I think I would get a relaxer like every not even 3 months, like 6 months. Like I'd really stretch it out. And that's when I got to like really know my hair in its natural state because, going between, relaxers for that long, like my hair started growing out. And so then I moved to Houston, and I moved to Houston during the Rihanna Umbrella Ella era. Good girl gone bad. And she had done the, I think it was like an asymmetrical bob. And then she went to like the short pixie cut. And so, honey, me and that man separated. And I went down to a pixie cut. It was, it looked so good. Laid. I have a little short pixie cut going on. And I was like, I was like going to the gym heavy at that time. It's how I was like working all that stuff out with the separation. Living in a new city, just becoming a single parent. And so I'd gotten really skinny, and you couldn't tell me nothing. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So anyhow, it was 2009 when I decided, or actually it was like the end of 2008, I put in my own relaxer for the last time in November of 2008. And then I thought what I was going to do was like the whole natural movement was like really starting. And it was like all these videos about big chops and, and stuff. And in Houston, I just saw like more and more women wearing their natural hair, and there were like so many natural hair salons. And so I really felt empowered to like finally just let my natural hair grow out and see what it looked like, and just kind of get to know myself, wearing my hair the way that it naturally grows out of my head. And so I was planning to, all the videos I was watching, I was planning to like do braid outs and whatever, but I was gonna like keep the length and then like slowly trim up until I was like, girl, because I was pressed about like being about not having hair on my head. And so I stretched it out from November of 2008 until February of 2009. And I was over the whole trying to like manage two textures. It was crazy. And so I decided one day, it was like I was at work one day on a Friday and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and big chop it tonight. And I made an appointment at oh, I can't even remember the name of it, but it was this natural hair salon in Third Ward. It was like on the same strip as Reggae Hut. And I went in there and that was it, honey. She cut my hair, you know, gave me a real good wash and all things. And then she chopped my hair and I was like I loved it in the moment that I saw it. And then I got home and I was like antsy about it. And then there was a moment where I was like, I don't even think I want to be seen like this. But it like passed real quick. I was like, I'm putting on my dress. I'm calling up a friend. I called up friends. I put on my black cocktail dress. We went out for drinks and dessert. And I was like, I really need to like lean into this and just, you know, and getting ready. I was like, yes, once I put the makeup on and, you know, it was cute. I had like a small little fro. And then from there, I've been natural since that time. I've not had a relaxer since November of 2008. And I've like worn all the styles, right? Like I've done the fro, I've done the twist outs, I've done the pineapples, the puffs, the like all the things, right? I had locks for a few years. So I've done everything that you could do with hair. I'm not one to get caught up about like length, or when I was wearing it straight, like I'd grow it out, but it'd be nothing for me to chop it off. I don't feel an attachment to my hair in terms of length, or when I had a fro. I mean, I wanted to have a big old fro, right? And I did when I let it grow out, but also like when I felt like I didn't want it to be big anymore, then it was nothing for me to chop it off and, you know, wear it in a fade or wear it in a teeny weeny afro again, whatever. But I did always hate that middle part. Like, y'all know the part I'm talking about, like when you chop it off and then you get to that midpoint where like the only thing that makes sense is kind of like a fro hawk situation. I hate that. I feel like that's the like middle-aged woman fro stage. I did not like it. But everything else, like I loved about my hair journey. But here recently, like with this new transition, so I'll say this because I don't want this to go like forever long, but I cut my locks off in 2022. So I started my locks in 2016. Like over the summer of 2016, I let them freeform. And then I cut them off in 2022. And it just was time. Like, it just was time. And I did not keep them because I I don't understand the keeping. Anyway, not my business. But for now, I was like, another new transition, another big transition. I chopped those locks off in 2022. Like, was it? No, actually it was the end of 2021 when I chopped my locks off, and then I just wore like a fro for a little bit, and then I went and got a fade. Anyway, and then so I've been growing. This is hair that's been growing since then, except last year, no, December, I got a haircut. So I got a cute little bob. It was shorter than this though, so I'm so happy to see this length. But I think like when I got it, it was like here, and she layered it. It was real cute. So anyway, that has been my hair story until now. And I was like, okay, so these were the decisions that had to be made. First was no relaxer. Like, I'm not going back to a relaxer. I was partly considering, like, I might go back to the relaxer because what I want is that bone straight look from the 90s again. Like, I just, it looks so good. Like, everybody's getting their bobs again. And, so I was like, I really want to go back to wearing really straight hair. Okay. This is part of the Summer Nesty Challenge, okay? The Summer Nesty Challenge is that we are, over the course of the summer, going to try 3 new things. 3 new things, okay? It was supposed to be 1 for each month, but I didn't announce it until June, so you're just gonna have to cram, okay? You're gonna have to cram 2 things into 1 month or something. Cram the 3 into the month. But by Labor Day, we're going to have 3 new things that become, the signs of us creating this new life on our own terms. So anyhow, I was like, of course, like, hair is going to be the first thing, because at every major transition in life, I've done something different with my hair. So, relaxer was considered for a brief, like 2 days. I played with it, and I was just like, no, like, not going back to relaxers. But then how do I wear it straight? And then I played with the idea of like, oh, maybe I should get braids. Maybe I should get, braids is always, right? But like maybe considering getting wigs or weaves for the first time, because I've never worn weave before, never worn a wig. I've only ever, like, anytime hair has been added has just been for braids. And so then I was just like, no, I'm gonna be a straight natural. And I wasn't sure what that looked like. I went to YouTube for it, watched the girlies, did it myself, but it never lasted more than, a day. If even, when my coworker told me about how she was getting silk presses, I was like, oh, and I had no idea like what that meant. In my mind, a silk press was like, I don't know, I've heard of like that. I don't really keep up with like the hair trends, because like I told you from before, like, I can do my own hair, and a lot of times I just manage my own hair, and I really know like what I like and how to make what I like happen. I can't cut though. I can't cut, and I can't do cornrows. And I don't want to learn. I was about to say something like, I'm going to learn one day. I do not want to learn. If I need cornrows, I'll just go pay somebody to do cornrows. And I'm always going to pay somebody to cut my hair. Like, I cannot draw a straight line, so I'm not going to ever try to cut a straight line in my own head. So anyhow, Um, I didn't know what a silk press was. The first time I realized, like, oh, okay, this is pretty much like the press and curl that we used to get as little girls. It's just that instead of, using the straightening comb that went on the stove, it was, they blow dry your hair and then use the flat iron. And I was like, oh, that's all it is? Okay, then I should be able to do that. Tried it, didn't work. Long story short, I knew I wanted bone straight 90s style. I know that I want to wear my hair straight again for some time until I don't want to wear it straight anymore. But I want to keep it straight regularly for the time being. Like, I'm so tired of wearing a fro and managing the fro, and I want to be back in a salon. And so, honey, I'm really having a hard time. Like, I know I hope I haven't been like staring at myself as I do the talking. But I need to keep my hands out of it. But it has been so hard. I love this so much. To me, it feels like it feels almost like I've gotten a relaxer. I mean, this is straight. This is straight. New hairstyle, or, I'm doing something new, with my hair to like go back to wearing it straight after wearing it, completely natural, since, I don't even know how many years that is, 2009, like 16 years, something like that. 16, 17 years, something like that. So, so that's how it fits in the Summer Nesty Challenge. To go back to wearing a straight style, like pretty much regularly. And then also that I went to a new salon, and that salon is called Pressed Roots. Now look, this is I'm excited about something new. I'm not getting paid for this. This is not, I'm about to give a review, but it's not like an official review. They don't know I'm doing it. It is not to be promotional, except that I found a place that I'm so excited about. So I want to tell y'all about it. So if that gets them promotion, I'm happy that it does. But I'm not getting paid to tell y'all about this, but I loved it so much. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna go down like a set of criteria and give you like my checks and pluses system. But when I walked in, it just immediately felt like, it reminded me of the salons that my mom used to go to, like in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, it didn't look like that, of course, but just like that immediate feel of like blackness. Blackness and black hair, especially. So it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful inside. The decor, the music, it felt really good. So just immediately, like the vibes were, yes. Customer service was great, but yeah, it felt so good in there. And then it wasn't, there wasn't a lot of people. They're a fairly new salon. But they are in the Galleria area. So anyway, I absolutely love it. It looks so good today. I'm gonna see how long it lasts. You know, I did get the special treatment that helps it last. They said it lasts like 12 weeks. And so it helps fight the humidity and helps it, you know, like revert back to straight really easily and makes it easier to manage. But I think, you know, also that's why it's going to, why it looks so straight, a lot more straight than what I could manage, obviously. And you're gonna see how long it lasts, and whether or not the STS treatment, that's what it was called, whether or not that treatment really does hold up to the humidity and whether, I mean, it's been raining today. I left out in the rain. I haven't really been out in rain, but you know, a little drip drip might have gotten a little drip might have gotten on it, but it's still, girl, I love it. I love it. My hair is swinging again. Um So I'll see that, and then also, like, you know, just see how well I can maintain it. I do have a few concerns, like my own lifestyle related concerns, and just seeing how it plays out with this style. But I am a bath girly. I love to sit in the bathtub and soak in the bathtub and get in it every night. Like, that is part of my whole like decompress end of night. I want to feel like I'm in a spa. And so you know, I tend to make it really hot, and so I'll just probably have to make adjustments, but I cannot stand like lukewarm water. Ugh. Anyhow, so I'm gonna have to see like how well it holds up, and of course, like, you know, I'll have to do my part and wrap it. But it doesn't even matter. It's like ice sweat in my head in a bathroom regardless. So I'm just gonna have to see how that holds up, even if it's a shower. So I'm concerned about that, and then also with my regular, you know, exercise, which really at this point is mainly walking, like my neighborhood, walking with my dog, but it is Houston. It is hot as hell. And so that sun beats down. I be out there sweating. I enjoy sitting outside on my patio sometimes in the evening as the sun is setting, but it still is hot outside. And so, you know, I do sweat there. And those are things that I enjoy doing. So you know, I don't necessarily want to, like, I don't want to stop moving my body because I'm wearing straight hair now. That makes no sense to me, right? But she did say, the stylist who did my hair today did say that it makes it easy to revert back. And she was saying that even like when I wet it, when I wash it, I'll see that the texture is like a lot looser and it'll kind of have that beachy, wavy look. And so I was like, okay, well, even if, you know, it's fine. I also am expecting that like my hair is going to have to be heat trained for some time to know to stay here. So I'm taking all of those things into concern. But I'm a summertime girl. It is what it is. And I know that this was like, so girl, why did you decide to change your hair to straight in the summertime? But because this is what I want to try. Because I just like, this is how I want to wear my hair. So, you know, I'm just going to have to see. And if this is what I'm going to be doing for the next, you know, year or two or whatever, then I'm gonna have to learn how to manage it in the hottest part, and the, you know, at the worst time anyway. So we'll just see how it holds up. It's not a big deal, but I'm not gonna like stay inside to avoid to avoid it frizzing up or, going curly. I'm not going to like not take baths. I'll make sure to wrap my hair. I'll make sure, to switch to the products that will help me maintain it as much as possible. But yeah, like I don't see myself not working out. I'm about to start a new workout regimen, so catch that later. Catch that. Coming up. Make sure you come back, hit the subscribe button, put the, notification bell up there so you know when it's coming. Okay, so let me give you my review real quick, and then that is going to be it. So this is my review of Pressed Roots here in Houston, Texas, because they do have some in the DFW area, and then there are some in other cities, but this is the first one in Houston. And like I said, they've been open for about 3 months. If I remember what she said right, I believe she said 3 months. They are in the Galleria area. It is a wonderful, they are they're directly across the street from the Galleria in the same parking lot that Grand Lux is. Like, in fact, they are they're directly across that lot from Grand Lux on the same side as Snooze Eatery. Can you tell I want you to go? Do you know how much I want you to go, honey? I gave you everything but the grid points. But yes, it's right there. Snooze Eatery. There you go. There you go. There it is. And then there's a European Wax Center next to it too. So if you're familiar with Houston, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not familiar with Houston, just know it's right across Westheimer from the Galleria. Okay, so if you want to just go park at the Galleria, and it is actually easier to park in that parking lot. Anyway, over it. I'm doing a video. So that's where they are. That's where you can find them. They do have what I think is a really good deal for somebody like myself who wants to be pampered, would rather go to a place to have her hair done at this moment in time in life instead of having to do it yourself. I would suggest going there. So anyhow, here's the review. So customer service, I am going to give a check plus. They were great. It was wonderful. The stylist who did my hair, her name is Ariel D, or you can ask for AD, as she said, because there is another Ariel, and both of them are from New Orleans, child. So if I'm sure the other Ariel does a fine job as well. Whichever, but the lady who did this is Ariel D. She's so cute. I really liked her. I really, really liked her. And then Kelvin is the manager, I believe, of the place, and just very nice. They both made the experience like a very cozy, just feel good experience. So check plus. Location, I put check plus because it's central. It's not necessarily central, but it's central enough. It's Galleria area. Like I said, directly across the street from the Galleria. You know it. For all the girlies, especially if you are, an interlooper, or you're right, if you're right there, boom, 1, 2, 3, you're there. I only don't have the third plus. By the way, we can go up to 4 pluses, but I'm going to be like that teacher in high school or that professor that's like, it has to blow my socks off for it to get the fourth plus. Anyway, so location check plus plus because it is a great location. Everyone knows the Galleria. It's easy to get to the Galleria from most places in Houston in like 30 minutes or so. It's just not the third plus for me personally because I decided to move way outside of Houston. So if I'm thinking about going to a place like this regularly, then it's going to be that drive on top of this, on top of, whatever the cost of the services is. So, we'll see. Affordability, check plus plus. Like I said, for me, I find the value in the prices that they have set. I can see that for some people it may feel a bit steep, but again, I think that just, it's where your value system lies. And so you'll have to determine, but I think it's like affordable. So check plus plus. Aesthetics. How did it make me feel? That I gave check plus plus plus. The color scheme, the decorative touches, the mirrors, the bathroom is beautiful. Oh, I love when I go to a place and I walk into their bathroom and you just know that there was so much thought put into the design and just your comfort level in the bathroom. What else? It was really nice. It's really beautiful. I love it. Comfort and hospitality, like I said before, like everything felt very comfortable. The chair was comfortable. Their hospitality was wonderful. You're offered a few beverages of choice. Yeah. And they were very kind, okay? It was a good old Southern time. That's how I felt. Music, check plus plus plus. It was R&B heaven, leaning very heavily into the 90s and the 2000s. So, it blessed my millennial heart. Me and the stylist and I were singing. Child, just singing through that appointment. It was so... I love a place that gives me the music that I want, okay? It could be the grocery store, and I am thrilled about it. So anyhow, that's the end. I hope that you will, check it out. But girl, look. Girl, get into it. Get into it. I'm so excited. All right, Nesties. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share with other Nesties who may be interested in this content. Don't forget to do what you need to do in the Summer Nesty Challenge. You have until Labor Day to do 3 new things. Come back to the comments. Let's talk about what it is you're doing. Come back and tell me if you go to Pressed Roots, okay? I really loved it, and I hope that you'll love it too. Yeah, and if you're new here, introduce yourself down in the comments. Tell us who you are. How many children did you have? Or not did you have, child? How many children do you have? I said did like past tense, like because they're not living at home because you're an empty nester. But are you a new empty nester? Are you about to be an empty nester? You just trying to see what things are? Anyhow, bye y'all. Talk to you next time. Take care of yourself and take care of each other.